Okay, we're back mixing for the Groovynators, and they got a private event going on tonight. It's a very nice, it's called the City Club. It's in downtown Raleigh, and we're getting things set up. Looks like there could be a pretty big crowd, but there's some logistics issues with setting up an environment like this. The stage area that they're going to have is relatively small, and our location is going to be somewhat tight. Especially with the guests, but this table here to the right should be moved over, I think maybe 2 or 3 feet before everything begins. So we're just getting stuff together, and presentation here is going to be extremely important. And over here is the snake, and we've got it against the floor going all the way around the room, right up into this little cubby hole area there. In fact, you can see the monitor amps right there. So it's a slow process, but we are getting things together. Okay, we got a really tight corner back here. You can tell. Anyway, this is just for the monitors. It's a monitor amp, and we're keeping the snake back here. Anyway, obviously cable runs back here should be pretty short. And we've got the where the band's going to be. It's a very small area. Okay, this is where the front of the house is going to be. It's not much of an area, but what I mentioned before, we have to dress things up. So here we've got the snake running down the whole length of the wall, and we just need to make sure that it's out of the way. And we're using a gaff tape this time to tape things down. Normally we don't use the gaff tape just because of the expense of it, and normally we use the regular black, like a duct tape kind of thing, but we didn't want to put any kind of residue on the wall, so we're using gaff tape this time. Alright, so in some of the shows that you've seen us do, we're able to keep a lot of our gear, cases, and spare boxes next to the stage or underneath it, but in events like this, what we're doing where image is very important, we need to keep things clean. We can't have any boxes or anything like that sticking around. All right, sort of roughing in some settings here on the drum kit. We've done the here's the kick. We do want a compressor on it, but we're going to manually control it here. Tack to be about 20 milliseconds. Fairly fast release. Limiter on. We're going to just turn that on for now. We got the snare over here. We're going to do roughing in some stuff. Actually, it's a snare in the hat that's on this one. We're going to leave this, I think, as an auto. We got the high tom.
So is that storage room our grease room as well?
Roughing in maybe a 10 millisecond time on the compressor. Release. We'll see how it goes. Something fairly quick. Maybe a 1/10 of a second here. Bass. We're not really going to have the bass coming through too much. The room's small enough. We're going to try to mix the whole band around the bassist. Well, usually do about 20 milliseconds on it. We'll check. We'll see how that goes. Okay, guitar. Not soft. We'll leave it on auto, I think, here for the guitar. Let's see, sax. I'll leave it the same one for the sax. Vocals. Okay, we're going to start off here with this on the vocals. Should be good. I said as a place to start to rough it in. Now the room is not very reverberant. Now it's got carpeting on the floors, and we've got the table and chairs. When it fills up with people, a lot of this stuff is probably, so it's not going to change. We need to make some adjustments to it, specifically probably with the EQ. Anyway, we'll do a sound check and we'll see how that works out, but I know it is going to change. All right. Okay, what we're going to do here is we're going to set some reverb. The room definitely will need reverb. It's going to be pretty dead, if you will, dead sounding when everybody gets in here, it starts filling up. So on the vocals, we're just going to add a little bit of reverb, just something to start with. And 14, should I say 15? Let's do that. So, yeah, let's see. Let me see if I can readjust this here. There we go. Okay. So the main send here on the reverb. So we've got some sitting here. We're going to leave it at that. And actually, what we don't normally do is add reverb to the drums. But I think what we're probably going to do is just start off with something small. To make the band sound more large, like in a large environment, even though it's really not. Okay, I think we're going to start with that. Okay, and something that we're going to do here is we want to make sure that the reverb, we've got it routed over to subgroup 4. So that means is that I can come down here and I can control the amount of reverb being sent through front of house. Gives you a lot better control over it than coming up here and trying to always turn people up and down as needed. So once we sort of get stuff set here, we can be able to control all the reverb that's being returned to front of house down here. All right.
Perfect line.
There we go.
Sorry, I stepped on the button. Is that okay with you? Is it still perfect?
Hey, we gotta start grabbing.
Yeah. Maybe more than monitor.
What is this? Is this the one? Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis, let's get the monitors. Let's get the monitors okay for you.
Yeah.
Hey Patrick, how many's over there?
You need more?
How many's over there? You want at least 6? That's 4.
Let's start there.
Then you have
Okay.
5, 6.
Okay, how about a little
Right
for me?
there.
Okay.
Absolutely. That'd be great.
You got anything, John?
Not yet.
Okay, stand by. Make sure everybody's up.
A little bit, I get a little bit. That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
All right.
So now Mike's monitor?
Okay.
You're okay now? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty loud.
Okay.
I can be less loud.
Can you be less loud?
I can be less loud.
So you don't need anything?
Say what?
What do you guys need from monitors for that?
I'm getting plenty of John right here.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Drums come up, may need some in then.
Okay.
But for right now, it sounds okay.
Okay.
Where I'm at.
I turn my monitor down, so that's my max now.
Okay.
Oh, that's nasty. It's
Hey, are you getting static? John, are you getting static?
Yeah, it's sounding very static. No, it's good now.
It's,
Oh, now
There.
it's staticky.
That's what I hear.
so is it overloading out there?
No. So it's overloading it at your board.
I'm sorry?
It's overloading at your board.
So the piano came up, but the horns did not.
Okay, I got horns up now.
Okay,
All right.
okay. Okay, have you got an organ? Yeah, we need some other organ.
So bring the organ up as well.
Okay. It's just a little bit at a time.
That's good.
Get what you guys need.
Let's try it. Let's try it.
Same thing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's a howl, like 7 inches from the midday sun. I hear you whisper in the wind, tell everyone that she stays so cool. Mama, you keep time. You've been wishing all your life for a woman that'll love you, tell the truth and treat you right. You've been alone, crying yourself to sleep. Now you got a girl who can rock your world, put a smile on your face and a love you're gonna keep now.
Sound check and line check is complete. When people start filling up in here, that is going to impact the sound quality here. So things have started out pretty loud. We've got stuff toned down, so that should be a good place to start. And then when we're talking about dressing things up, if you notice here, the cabling we have wrapped around the pole here that the RCF is on. We want to try to keep things as clear as possible. If you noticed, there are no cables on the stage area, pardon me, the dance area. And over here is where we have the cables wrapped around the pole for. This does take some added time to set up, but in events like this where there's going to be a lot of people, it's a shirt and tie kind of event. We want to make sure stuff is cleaned up and straightened up as much as possible. Okay, the board and everything is set. We've allowed plenty of room here to give more headroom if things get too quiet, meaning if the band gets too quiet because there's a lot of people in here, we've got plenty of room to move forward. Okay, as you can tell, this is where we're going to be mixing from. It's really tight back here, but that's okay. We are here to support the band and also to support the people having the party here. And actually my view here in the back, this is what I can turn around and look at. So it's actually not too bad. So it looks like we're going to be starting up here pretty soon. Okay, we're using the RCF, the NX45 speakers for the tops. And that is all we're using. We are not going to be using any sub for this event. The bassist, he's on this side of the stage, and he's going to be intentionally probably maybe a little bit louder than everybody else. So my plan is to mix the whole band around the bass. Okay, now what we did notice during the sound check was, you can tell here it's got a higher ceiling right above where the band is and where the dance floor is. But underneath it here, the ceiling is substantially lower. And there was probably about a 12 dB drop in overall volume due to the lower ceiling height. So this shouldn't present a problem to us at all. If it is a little bit quieter, maybe allow people to talk. Anyway, we're about ready to go.
Now the devil said to Eve, this fruit is so sweet. Just a bite of this apple will make your life complete. You'll know good and evil, complete your heart soul. Yeah, you gotta.
Okay, what we're doing here is trying to keep the volume level just above the ambient noise level of everybody in the room.
All right, guys, well, that's it. There was quite a few people in here, probably about maybe 300 or so. The room acoustics were actually really good for this room. So anyway, we're going to be tearing stuff down and hauling stuff out of here. And anyway, for a New Year's Eve party, this is actually really good. So anyway, we'll talk to you later. See you next time.